What is going on, guys? We are doing a video on a title that came up recently in a discussion that I had, and it was the worst parts of Atlanta. And I don't know that this is the worst part of Atlanta. I don't know, but there was two websites that stated this is the worst parts of Atlanta, and it's called Mechanicsville. And as you can see with the Mechanicsville, that sign that you're about to see says Mechanicsville Library, but we're actually at the Juvenile Detention Center right now. You know, Juvenile Detention Center for, you know, basically it's the court system for, you guys know what that is. It's the court system for teens, you know, adolescents. And we're going to drive around this area to see, you know, if it lives up to what they say. They say it's one of the worst parts of, they say it is the worst part of Atlanta. According to a website that I was looking at, the second worst part was stated to be Vine City. And I'm not familiar with what that is, but right now we're going to drive around Mechanicsville, and we're just going to take a look at it to see if this is really, and I guess you won't really know, I mean, just by this one video, but because what am I comparing it to? I haven't adventured any other places, which I will adventure other places. This is not to make any political statements or anything like that. It's just, we're just exploring basically the statement that was made in these websites. And as of right now, I mean, it's in the middle of the day. It's like 5 minutes from 1 p.m. So I think a lot of bad areas, you know, the website stated it as the worst hood of Atlanta, okay? And you won't be able to tell just from this one video that it is. You know, you can't really do that, but we're driving around here right now, and I can see, you know, I can see where it would be in that category, but obviously you're not going to see horrendous, horrible things happen right before your eyes. I mean, it's not like that, but you would definitely notice something if it is really a bad environment, you know, a bad area to reside in or visit or whatnot. And we're not going to any specific place. We're just kind of riding around the area, just kind of just going wherever, just to take a look and put up, because it's one thing to read stuff, but it's another thing when you actually, when your eyes and ears are actually there to see and witness whatever it is that's being stated. And like I said, there's police right next to me now. They're on motorcycles. I mean, that's not really a big deal. But, you know, they're kind of riding around on motorcycles. You can't see them on the camera because they're on the other side. I can't grab the camera, you know, in front of the police, because you know how that is when you hold something while you drive. But anyway, I'm turning on this little street here, and it does look like, you know, like a poverty. Yeah, it definitely looks a little bit on the rough side over here. I will say that. You can definitely tell that it is, it's on that category. I mean, you see the graffiti and all that type of stuff. You see the boarded up buildings, and some of this stuff does look really bad. I will say that. We're just kind of driving on a back street, kind of like an alley. Not really an alley, but something like an alley. And as you can see, we're getting ready to turn on this street right here, which is called, I think it's called Ira. And, you know, they got these apartments and stuff like that over here. Now, what are they exactly talking about when they say worst parts? Now, it looks like I'm going to have to turn around right here. I thought there was a let out over here, but I'm going to go ahead and turn this thing around. You know, let's go ahead and turn around here. see a little bit here, not much. There's somebody out here. Nothing, no big deal really, just some people putting stuff in their car or whatever. But we're gonna kind of turn around and go back to the, you know, look at that stop sign, man. Look at that. That stop sign looks like it's long overdue to be replaced. Look at that. You know, and there's the MARTA train up there because we are in Atlanta. So let's go ahead and go up here. You see, obviously, one thing you always see, you see a lot of littering and a lot of graffiti. And I'm gonna try to face this right here. As you can see, I'm gonna move the camera over here. You see boarded up buildings, but there's people that reside there and the windows are open. That's the crazy thing, you know? So you can kind of tell that, you know, what type of environment we're in right now. And, you know, and this has nothing to do with Atlanta itself, because, you know, just about most states have their areas that are kind of like this. And there's people over here, kind of, I think they're looking at me trying to see what it is I'm doing. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they're just, you know. But we're gonna go ahead. Which way are we gonna go? We're gonna go left. I'm gonna go back to where I came from. Looks like we have a school over here. Whatever it is. And I can't turn left because I can't see the traffic. Looks like they were trying to let me go, but I couldn't see the traffic that was coming, so I wasn't gonna take that risk. You know what? I'm gonna go right instead. I changed my mind. That left looks a little bit like I'm not gonna be able to make that left. Is what it looks like. We're gonna go down some other streets over here just to get another look at this, to see. And I could definitely tell you, you know, it definitely looks like a rougher environment, I would say. And I've lived in some rough environments in my lifetime, for sure. Some really rough areas. And this particular area, again, it's called Mechanicsville. I've been in this area before, but I never knew the name of Mechanics. I never heard of the term, you know, Mechanicsville. It's kind of a new, I didn't know that's what it was called, but, you know, it looks like, those look like school students, possibly. And it looks like there's filming a movie over here. You see that yellow sign? I've done some filming in my time, so I know what those signs look like. So they're shooting a movie or a TV show or something like that over here somewhere. Maybe a commercial. They're shooting something over here. But we're gonna kind of go around here and, you know, I can hear sirens. Oh. And I see the police. The police are coming over. You know, pull over, let them by. Oh my goodness. Oh no, I think they were getting on the interstate. That's what they were doing. But, oh my goodness. Oh, okay, never mind. We're all good, nothing's wrong here. But, we're gonna go down some of these other streets just to take a look at what we have over here. And a lot of these areas that you go to that are, you know, considered, you know, the worst areas or bad areas, whatever word you want to use, lower levels. I don't like to use those terms because it almost sounds like you're insulting people. And just because you're over here, live over here, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you specifically. You don't have to be doing horrible things or have bad intent. And part of my car is on this train track, and it shouldn't be. You're not supposed to do that. I did not mean to do that. I normally don't do that. There's a train underneath us too, but underneath this bridge that we're on. We're gonna go over here and see, you know, and obviously we're not gonna witness anything, but you know, it's in the middle of the day. I would prefer not to ride around here at nighttime because that's not really, you know, I'm not looking for that type of adventure, but yeah, we're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go straight. I'm not gonna turn. Well, no, I want to go left because I can go left. Well, I will be able to anyway. Okay, looks like they're going straight. So we're gonna go this way. We're gonna turn around. Well, this is where I was at, right? All types of, there's always a lot of graffiti all over the place in these types of areas. People, you know, spray painting and whatnot. There's certain common denominators in these areas. You're gonna see the graffiti. You're gonna see a lot of garbage outside, like the littering. And a lot of times you'll see people that you can clearly tell that they're on drugs or whatnot. I don't see that right now. You know, I used to see it very, very often in another area in the area that I lived in. I don't live around here, but I'm just saying I lived in a rougher area at one time, and more than once, but I'm saying this particular area, and I would see people literally walking down the street, like look out the window and see a lot of people that you could clearly tell they were probably crack, more than likely. A lot of these types of environments, you have a crack problem. You have other drugs too. Obviously, you have crystal and heroin and all that other stuff. But from what I noticed, it seems like crack is a big thing in some areas, more so than anything else. But who knows? You know, I don't really see that over here. And you can, when you see people that are high on these types of drugs, you can tell that they're high on. You may not be able to identify exactly what it is, but you know that there's something going on there, drug related, with their behavior, because their behavior is usually quite, it basically stands out quite a bit when people are in that type of high state. You know, we're not talking about marijuana or something like that. We're talking about crack and crystal and heroin, that type of stuff, you know, which is a lot more serious. And I don't want to be over here anymore because it looks like they got these cones here. I hate when they have stuff like this, but you know, I guess they gotta do some work. You gotta understand when they gotta do work. You gotta accept it. We're gonna do more videos like this. We're gonna go to like probably Vine City or something like that, because that is considered, that was number 2 on the list. And I'm gonna put some links in the description of this video just to kind of give you where I'm getting this information. And look, I don't know if it's really that bad or not over here. I'm not here to talk about that because I wouldn't know, but I'm just saying, you know, these are lists that they have. I don't know if they're, I don't know what statistics they use to make this list, you know, because they have Mechanicsville at rank 1 on this particular website. So, you know, and like I said, I don't know what their statistics are based on. I would say it may be based on crime rate. That's what I would assume, because what else are you looking at, you know, other than, I guess, crime rate per capita or whatever it is, you know. But anyway, that's where we're at. We're at Mechanicsville, and I'm gonna U-turn and go back. No, I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna go we're gonna adventure a different part of this direct area. And you see the cops over here. I mean, this doesn't look like, well, there's a few cops. They might just be watching out or something. There may not be any actual general activity. You know what I'm saying? Like crime or whatnot. They may just be watching that area or something. Sometimes they do that. They'll just be on standby for specific, whatever reason. But if an area is high crime driven, I wonder how that works with the police department as far as, like, I would imagine their salary would be higher, but I really don't know. It very well should be. If you're dealing with a more dangerous environment, as we see all this graffiti here. But again, if you were working a night shift and in one of the worst areas there is in the city, in the state, I would imagine your pay rate should be higher. I don't know how that stuff works, but I'm saying it probably should. We're gonna do other videos talking about other subjects like the homeless problems and things of that nature. You know, I can only imagine what certain schools are like, because, you know, I went to really bad schools when I was younger. I went to a couple of bad schools, but I went to good ones too, because, you know, we moved around as kids. But that was so long ago. I'm not a young guy, you know. But let's look at some more stuff. If I get a lot of views on these videos, we're gonna go a little bit further with the videos. Like we're gonna really adventure into some of these places, and we might even go later in the evening time. Not really late at night, of course, but like later, you know, fairly evening, like late night, closer to the night, I would say, just to see what it is that we can, you know, so you can get a better look at it, basically. Because when it's nighttime, there's no secret. Things are worse in these type of areas, for absolute sure. But we're gonna go through a different part of the city over here, just to get an idea of, just to get our eyes on a little bit more of it. But what we saw over there was like not so much a big deal. Just basically the typical stuff you would see in those type of areas. You saw the graffiti, you saw the boarded up home, you know, boarded up places and places with windows missing or whatever. You didn't see anything super dramatic or anything like that this time of the day. Because I'll tell you this, just because an area is considered a really bad or rough area, that doesn't mean you're gonna just go right over there and see some crazy stuff going on at that moment. It's not really like that necessarily. Of course that is possible, but it's not really how it goes. If it did go like that, I wouldn't be out here, I can tell you that right now. But we're gonna turn right here just to get our eyes on a little bit more of what this, no, I'm not going here. This is, oh no, this is like a building or like some type of establishment or warehouse or something. I'm not sure what it is, but I didn't see the sign. But we're gonna do more videos like this. But some of the videos I do like this, I'm not gonna be doing any commentary. What's up with that bicycle? What did that say? It looked like it had a flower on it, like it was some sort of memorial for somebody, or maybe something happened to somebody over there. Look, did you just see that sign? Tyler Perry Studios is over here, you know, and look, this is Tyler Perry Studios. Tyler Studios Way is what this is, you know. His studio is right over there, obviously. You know, I've been there before because I've done movie extra parts on 2 different Tyler Perry films a long time ago. I wasn't there for that reason. I was there for another reason, but I was trying to get a part on something. That's basically what happened. But, you know, but yeah, his studios are here. He does a lot of work here in Georgia, so, you know. And we've kind of driven outside of Mechanicsville at this point, but we're still in that vicinity. Just because, you know, it says Mechanicsville doesn't mean once you enter Mechanicsville, you're going to be in a bad area. Once you exit it, you're in a great area. That's not what that means, okay? It's the vicinity of an area that was considered the downside or not so, I don't even know what word to use, to be honest. But like I said, we took a look at that, but based on how many views we get on these videos, that is going to determine, you know, what type of other videos we do. If I get a lot, we're going to be doing some night rides and stuff like that, as we're going to ride through this neighborhood right here. This looks, you know, this is a little bit, you know, we've driven kind of away from Mechanicsville, but, you know, we're not way out of it, so we're still in that vicinity. I don't know what city this is or what this area is called, but, you know, we're not far enough from it to say, okay, we're not there anymore, we're in a different vicinity now. You're definitely still close, even though this definitely doesn't look the way it looked over there. So, but I can imagine whatever the statistics they're looking at, whether it be crime rate or whatever the case may be, I'm sure this ain't far enough away from that to say, okay, this is very different here. It can't be too much different. I mean, it definitely looks like it's not as bad based on what I'm looking at. But the good thing is we haven't seen like the whole, because I know areas right now that I can drive down and I could almost guarantee you would see somebody high on crack or high on something just kind of wandering around, because you see it almost every time you go to certain areas. And we're gonna do videos on that area too. I'm not gonna mention it right here, but yeah. And as you can see, you do see a little bit of stuff that looks. You have this house over here that's boarded up, where it looks like it's painted up. Like the windows are painted right here, as you can see. The address is spray painted on the door. As you can see, that's kind of odd, right? But yeah, this particular part of the city definitely doesn't look bad. I mean, it looks better than what's over there where we were at. But I don't know if there's any truth to that. Like, is Mechanicsville the worst part of Atlanta? Because I honestly, based on what I've seen, I don't think so. I've driven through areas that you can. It doesn't matter what time of the day you drive through it. You're gonna see some horrendous, not necessarily horrendous activity, but, and now we're riding into a dead end. I don't like riding into dead ends, but we're gonna obviously have to make a U-turn over here. Well, no, we can go this way. Look how bad. Oh no, you can't. This is definitely a dead end. And as you can see, it definitely looks a little bit on the downside, as the camera just went down, because the holder that holds my camera actually broke, so I can't position my camera the way I want to. But we're gonna get out of here right now, and based on how many views we get on some of these videos, that's gonna indicate how many more videos we do, and whether or not we go further with these type of videos, like, you know, record some activity at nighttime, which when I do that, I'm just gonna kind of drive through there. I'll probably talk a little bit, but not really like all the way through it. We're just gonna kind of witness, just kind of look at it and say, you know, because I'm not really convinced that Mechanicsville is the worst part of Atlanta. I know the website says it is, and I can't say that it's not, just based on this one brief little ride. I can't say that, but the reason I say that is because, like I said, I know areas where I can go right now that you would see a lot of drug addicts just kind of roaming around. Here we go. We got this. What is this? Oh, it's like I thought. I mean, I guess that is graffiti, but I was getting ready to say it doesn't look like gang graffiti. It just looks like somebody owns a bus. Somehow they obtain ownership of this bus, basically just put some artwork on it, is what it looks like. But got a decent little playground over here. This area right here definitely doesn't look like it's horrible. You know, it obviously isn't. I mean, as you can see, some of these houses look very ran down. Like right here. As you can see, look at the condition of this house. You know what I'm saying? You do see houses that are in bad condition, but I'm saying from the standpoint of like, when you say worst parts of Atlanta, I'm not really completely convinced based on what I've witnessed. Because, like I said, I know places that look worse right now if I drive through it. But anyway, we're going to close this video off. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to be dropping more interesting videos, not just on this topic, but several different topics. And we're going to be, you know, making some footage of different things. And because some of my videos, I'm just sitting down talking. And I understand that doesn't resonate with a lot of people. People want to see things, and, you know, with their eyes and kind of get their eyes on things.